Welcome to Satellite Media. Mr. Matthew, yesterday we saw how the British Prime Minister actually rubbished the Yoruba agitators, calling them copycats of the Biafrans. That the Yorubas have no reason to complain. After all, they've enjoyed presidency for over 12 years. That was their problem. That they should go back and fix the country.
I think it's quite unfortunate that that is coming from our colonial master. Because for me, though I've not seen the that development, but if actually it came from them, for me it is quite unfortunate because they have been following Nigeria's trajectory. They cannot deny the fact that Nigeria is not working. What effort have they made as a people to encourage leaders to fix the country? Because since they listen to them. And secondly, you are talking about self-determination. You are looking at whether do people have right of self-determination. Of course, nobody have argued that. We also Brexit. We also the manner and civilized way it all went. We saw opposition to it. We saw pro and anti-Brexit. We saw how a prime minister resigned. At the end of the day, they achieved it. So why is it that when it comes to Nigeria, they want to coerce people in that entity called Nigeria? When they decided to exit the European Union, did anybody come from outside to tell them no, fix the European Union and remain in the European Union? So we are talking about a system, we are talking about a country that people are dissatisfied with the way the country is being run. We are talking about the right of the people. We are talking about self-determination that is entrenched in UN Charter, which Nigerian government is a signatory to, which have been ratified in Nigeria and is already a law in Nigerian legal jurisprudence. So if a Sunday Igboho, Anna Nikalo, or perhaps by tomorrow, somebody from Arewa Aziz is coming up to say, I want my own separate sovereign states under that UN Charter, which have been ratified in Nigeria. I don't think the person have done anything outside the purview of the law. So for me, I think it's quite unfortunate that this is coming from our colonial masters.
Well, Mr. Matthew, some people are saying that this is an indictment on the British, that it seems they always do everything that favors the Fulanese, because just yesterday, immediately that that sad response came from them. Northerners are saying that nobody will leave until they have their own part of the country developed. That the southern country, have to wait for them to catch up. Then they might start beginning to talk about separation. What's the reaction?
I think somebody have to tell the North the naked truth. They cannot continue exploiting the southern part of the country. They cannot continue getting resources of the southern part of the country. They cannot continue getting money at the expense of the southerners.
But it seems they have the backing of the United Kingdom.
It doesn't matter the opinion of United Kingdom. Are they God? United Kingdom is not God. By providence, God gave South the resources they have. I'm talking about crude oil. By providence, God gave a place like Kaduna and some other places gold. Example, I have gold. Even in Kaduna, you have thorium, you have uranium that can be used to enrich to make a nuclear weapon, and even that can be used for economic purposes. Why is it that they are not leveraging on it? If God gives you natural resources and you find yourself in an environment, it's for the benefit of those in that environment. Can they not go and question America that the crude they have, they should come and share it with them? If not for the colonial masters who amalgamated Nigeria and bring Nigeria under the platform called Nigeria, will the North start coming to South to dictate for them how to spend money that accrue from natural resources? And we hear of so many stories about how gold is being mined in the North, and the resources is not even coming to the federal coffer. So I think necessity is the mother of invention. If they get to the point where they don't have access to the crude oil money, they'll be forced to start leveraging on the natural resources that they domicile in their place. Look at Nigeria as an entity, as a sovereign state. How much attention are we giving to steel? Steel can give us more money than we are getting from crude. But because the crude have made everybody lazy, nobody is thinking out of the box. If we are able to develop our steel industry it can give us more money than we are getting from crude. And we can even capture African market. So for me, I think the North at this point should realize that the natural resources in the South is given to the South by providence. And the one they have in their place is given to them by providence. And that if Britain did not amalgamate Nigeria as one entity, they cannot from the North start dictating or how the natural resources in the South should be used. I think it's a hard truth they need to know.
But Mr. Matthew, it seems you are trying to exclude the North from claiming a right in the oil found in the South. Don't forget, one time the North were the one financing this economy with their granite pyramid. In fact, it was the revenues accrued from the sales of the granite in the olden days that they used to build the first oil block. And the North will always refer to this time. That, don't forget, we also had a time that we were the one running the economy. So what is the big deal for the South to, I mean, as a matter of patience, wait for them to catch up, then maybe we'll talk about the separation.
The truth is, go and check when agriculture was the mainstay of Nigerian economy. The sharing formula was not what we have today. The sharing formula was that the states take a larger share. And even as at that time, federal government was giving grants to states for agricultural production. At the end of the day, they take larger share. And let me correct one erroneous impression. Nigerian government do not involve money in the process of oil exploration. They only wait when the oil start coming out, they start taking 60% across board from oil majors. When you break the country into different strata, into different oil blocks, they invite oil companies to come and explore. By the time they discover oil, they start bringing in the equipment. It is when they got to the point of bringing out oil, you see federal government through NNPC stepping in to collect 60%. As I talk to you, federal government collects 60% from Chevron, Shell, ExxonMobil, all the oil majors. The only investment they have is because the oil is in the country where and are the government of the day. And again, the claim of the oil belonging to everybody, the constitution that arrogate the oil to everybody is questionable. Because we are saying that the Nigerian constitution that is forced on the people by the military is not people's oriented constitution. Because if you look at what people suffer in the area where this oil is being mined, where this oil is being explored, yes, you will weep for the people. I will remind you something. Go and look at Ogoni. Ogoni is the highest polluted place in the world. It will take about 25 years to clean up Ogoni. Even under Muhammadu Buhari, the effort to clean Ogoni, we never knew it was political. 8 years of Buhari have gone. Ogoni cleanup have not started. A people that is suffering this level of oil degradation, you are sharing the resources with them almost at equal footing, equal rate. In some cases, they get more. If not for 30% derivative that oil states get. And before they could even get that, it took effort, fighting, militancy, agitation for them to get it. I could recall under Yaradua, when there were militancy in the Niger Delta, a senator in the Hollow Chamber suggested that they should wipe off the people in that community and bring in other people, since they are disturbing oil exploration. So all their thinking, all their mentality is that let us get the oil. They don't think about the environment.
Was there a northern senator that said that?
Yes, I will research and I will get the name. He suggested. I could remember Senator James Manager, who was representing that senatorial district, Baramatu area, was almost crying in the Hollow Chamber that day. Because the then government, the then Senate, gave the presidency the nod to send fighter jets to the community, and they were bombing everywhere. So what we are saying is, the North should understand that they need to think out of the box. They have natural resources in their respective states. They should leverage on it to develop their place. And if you want to diversify agriculture, it doesn't take a million years. We have so many areas of agriculture. We have livestock, we have crops, and when it comes to crop, you have long-term, short-term, medium term. There are cash crop you can cultivate under 6 months, you start harvesting and exporting and getting your foreign earning if you are taking it outside the country. And when it gets to livestock, there are so many areas. Fishing is there, cow rearing is there. It's too numerous to mention. Pig farming is there. It's too numerous to mention. So this is a weak argument. I think they should understand that the Southerners are not foolish.
Well, it seems the North have succeeded to ensure that the Yoruba or the Dua nation falls flat and fail. Now they are trying to find a way to also bring Biafra to stand still. At this stage, do you think they can still succeed over Biafra agitators?
One thing is clear. You see, when it comes to agitation for sovereign states, whether you call it Biafra, you call it Oduduwa, or tomorrow if someone from Arewa as it should rise to start leading Arewa sovereign states, what you need is a buy-in of a major player in the international community. This time around, if you can get the buy-in of perhaps America, for instance, I think that is all you need. I will remind you something. When America needed to move their capital from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, as a way of recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, there was a UN General Assembly voting that voted against Jerusalem becoming the capital of Israel. But America was very resolute and said that UN General Assembly voting is not binding on them. And they vetoed it. And they unilaterally moved their capital from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And up to today, it stands. That's because they had the power of veto when it comes to UN General Assembly. In the same vein, if you are able to get the buy-in of United States of America, and it comes to UN, whether Arewa should go, whether Oduduwa should go, whether Biafra should go, and America, for instance, say they should go, and UN General Assembly vote against it, America has the taste to veto it and enforce it. So I think sometime in the struggle under Nnamdi Kanu before he was arrested, he was able to hire a lobbyist who was trying to push Biafra struggle through American sovereign states. Currently, I'm aware that even Isamanekpa have a lobbyist who is a former congressman in the United States of America, who is based in Washington, D.C., who is doing the lobbying business for Biafra. What I'm saying is, I'm totally against wanton destruction of lives and property. But when it comes to whether you have a right to do this, I don't think anybody have questioned the right of Nnamdi Kanu to ask for self-determination. I think what perhaps they are questioning is allegation of destruction of lives and property. So I think we should get that clear.
Well, on a last note, let's come back to our local politics. We are aware that Anioma have been trying to get their own state. And it seems the Deltans and some elements in probably Benin don't want them to go, because Anioma will be added to Southeast. I mean, I know you are from Anioma. I mean, this is also fighting for your own right to self-govern yourself, right? I mean, look at what is going on, the internal politics. The Deltas don't want you guys to go, and Nedu Woko seems to be a lone ranger in this battle. I mean, what's your take?
I think I'm from the Delta North Senatorial District, and Nedu Woko is the senator representing my senatorial district. However I look at it, it's irrespective of anybody's opinion. Delta North is the Igbo-speaking part of Delta. That's the truth. Though you over time, so many factors would have necessitated how people form their opinion. They cannot take away the fact that people in Delta North, across board, whether you call it Eka, Abo,
they are calling them Igbos.
Yes, whether you call it Eka, Ndokwa, Anyocha, Oshimili, Ukwane, they are understandable. But by default,
by providence,
they do not need to travel to the southern part of the country to understandable. Naturally, they're understandable. So it tells you that they have something in common. There's no argument about that. So if by understanding a state is carved out, and you have 9 local government in that Delta North Senatorial District, the biggest senatorial district in Delta State, with 9 local governments. If understandably they come together and say we are getting our state and it's approved and they join the southeastern part of the country. I don't see anything wrong with it in it.
But the Deltas are afraid that you,
The
if
apprehension is a misplaced one.
you might take away, I mean, a key resource, because it seems one of the largest reservoir is located in that Anomia state. To
It's
me,
not anybody's that we are talking about resources domiciled in your place. I want to tell you that all the while they've been exploring oil, it took after many years before they could discover crude in my local government. And even if they didn't discover crude in my local government, I should not be thinking of getting undue advantage of resources that is someone else's local government. So you look around, you think out of the box, you look at what is provision of nature for you. Nature do not leave anybody empty-handed. That's what the point I'm trying to make.
Mr. Martin, the reason why I ask this question is just to identify to you that don't blame the North alone, who are trying to be, I mean, nosy in the southern resources. Look at even within yourself in Delta, the Delta West, Delta South don't want the Delta North to go because they believe the resources in the Delta North also belongs to them, and this is why they are against the Anomia state creation. Well, to this, let us end. Thank you very much for your beautiful submission. Good morning.